Howdy folks, Robert Peebles with RPB Works out here in the bee yard, and I want to show you a new product that we've got. This is called the Attendant loader. We affectionately call it the Earl because it's the Earnie Attendant rapid loader. So the idea is we use this tool to load up JZBZ cages. So I've got one here. So the idea is we want to get 4 or 5 attendants into these cages and do it quickly. Yeah, a lot of beekeepers will go and they just take their cage and they grab the attendants and one at a time put them in here. However, we've got this tool, so the idea is you can load up, say, a half a cup of bees in here, 250 or so, and load up a bunch of cages at once. So that's the idea. So I'm going to show you how to work this without bees right now. Once I get my mic working, maybe we can get a real demonstration. But so what we've got here is we've got the top that slides back and forth. Can't really see that, I guess you can. And then we've got a plunger here as well, and then the bottom opens and closes. So I'm hoping that I'm holding that so you can see it well. All right, so I'm gonna put this cage to the side. What you want to do first is make sure that your cage is closed. So you can see here in the top that the bees can't get out right now. So this is the plunger side. So we unscrew it, and then we can dump some bees in here, half a cup, whatever you want to do. Close it up, and these are, the bottom and the top are translucent, so you can semi-see through it. Not great, but you can see through it. And we don't do it on the sides because it doesn't print all that great, and I'll try to explain later why. All right, so now that you've got your bees inside, what you can do is make sure your plunger is lowered, and then, here, I'm sorry, I'm not great at this. Once your plunger is lowered, you can turn this, and so now this is open, and you can kind of see now the bees could, in theory, bees will go to light, right? So they'll climb up the sides and they should be able to get in, and I didn't tell you to put the cage on. This is a friction fit cage. It works with JZBZ cages only, not the Chinese knockoffs, only JZBZ cages. Reason is because some of the Chinese ones are skinnier and they go down too far and the bees won't crawl up. So this is designed specifically for JZBZ cages. And the idea is now the bees could crawl up to the top. Do they do that all the time? Yeah, not. Bees don't cooperate, right? So that's the reason why what you can do is we want to make sure we get one bee in here, right? To do that, if they crawl up, great. I'm liking that. If they're not, I'm going to dump them, right? I'm going to dump some bees, and there's going to be at least one in there. And once I can get that, I can slightly close it, and you can kind of see where we're starting to pinch it off a little bit. I don't want to decapitate the bee. However, I get one in there, and I can kind of see it because, again, it's translucent. We get it over here, and then I can use the plunger. Maybe not so hard, but the idea is we turn it counterclockwise. It pushes the bee up into the cage, okay? Then we just basically repeat that. Once I get it down, we can knock another one into the little holder section, staging area, I guess you'd call it, and then use the plunger to push her back up into the cage. So eventually we'd have, 4 or 5 bees, however many you fit in there with your queen, okay? We do that over and over and over again. Once we've got that queen in, or the attendants that we want in here, we pull the cage off, we cap it, grab another cage, put it on, and repeat the process. So that's the idea behind this the rapid loader. Again, this is I didn't say this before. This is a brainchild of Earnie Welch, a queen breeder out in Madisonville, Texas. He and I have been talking about this for a while, and we finally got this done. Put a few changes into it, like the auto stops is the idea here. So this thing will stop at the plunger, it stops at the loading section, so everything should line up fine, and the screw on, screw off. So, oh, and one other thing, this is not vented, right? So you want to make sure, especially out here in Texas where it gets hot, do all your loading right away. If you want to do it over in the shade, great. Once you've got all your cages, your cages loaded like you want, let all the bees out, put them back in the hive wherever you got them from, because this is not vented. They're gonna overheat in there, and they won't make it. So anyway, this is our Earl, what we like to call it, our Earnie Attendant rapid loader, right? So that's the idea, is we've got a little tool here specifically for queen breeders and wannabe queen breeders, because we're a lot of those, right? All right, well, thank you for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye.